Welcome to Her Desire Haven podcast, a place where we come together to discuss all things Jesus, family, lifestyle, and faith. And I am your host, LaShondra. Today's episode, we are going to talk about spending time with God when you have kids. Our children are a blessing. We should not take our roles as parents lightly. Although it may be hard and demanding, we can do it with God's help and allowing the people and resources that He sends us to give us a hand, because we all need help at times. As you grow in your walk with Christ, we all know how important it is to spend that quiet time with God. But what happens when you have kids in a family and you just can't? Who knew these lives would be so demanding and needy of you what seems like every minute of the day? Maybe you are a single mother and your plate is full. You're tasked with juggling multiple kids at once and maintaining your household. And you think that there's just not enough hours in the day. You struggle with the basic daily tasks. How are you going to make time for yourself? And how are you going to make time for God? I remember one morning just feeling so sad. As soon as I had woke up, I was ambushed by hyperactive kids running and jumping off my bed, teasing and pushing each other and screaming the loudest screams. Before I could get my eyes open well enough, I was already overwhelmed. And then I'm often bombarded with questions and requests, and I just felt so heavy, so sad, because I didn't even have the opportunity to spend that special quiet time with God that morning, to read the Bible and to pray and to really set the tone for my household and our day. I knew that this intimate time was much needed and extremely valuable, and that this opportunity was missed. Maybe that's you as well. You have the heart and desire to spend more time with God, but because of your busy and demanding schedule, you don't see how it would be possible. I'm right there with you. I know how this feels. I'm living it. It can be hard to slow down and to find that time. And by the time the kids get to bed, you yourself are so exhausted that you pass out too. So that's not an option. So I understand how that is. I've lived that. I'm living it now. It's not always easy. So how can we manage to make spending time with God a priority, even when we have small children or maybe multiple kids or just one child in general? Because just one is a handful. So how can we do this? Well, one, I think it's important to really find what works for you and to commit to it. This may be waking up extra early, staying up a little later, or finding the opportunity midday and really finding what works best for you and your family and sticking to it and just being consistent. Two, I think that you should give yourself options. There are a variety of ways that you can spend time with God, whether it's journaling or writing your prayers down, studying the Bible, reading, taking notes, writing questions of what stood out to you, praise and worship, singing praises to God, dancing and worshiping God and dance, simply speaking to God about whatever may be on your heart. Each day may be different or the same. Just find a routine that works for you and change things up as you desire and as God leads you. 3, never cease praying. God is always available to us and there when we need Him. He is an ever-present help. As you go about your day, pray. It can be silently to yourself. Giving thanks and acknowledging God throughout your day is important. No matter where you're at, where you're on your way to, take a moment to pray to God and to speak to Him because He cares for you. 4, I think it's important to share the Word of God with your children. Be good stewards over the blessings that God has given you. Our children are blessings. Read the Bible and Bible stories to them. It's important to not only spend individual time with God, but time with God as a family as well. So pray together, have discussions, and read the Bible together. Ask questions and answer their questions. And this can make such a huge impact in their lives and yours. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I really hope that this blesses and helps someone to see that, hey, you are not alone. There's so many of us, and we're all busy. We all have things to do, but there's so many of us who are business owners, entrepreneurs, or CEOs, and we're mothers, and we're parents, and we're still trying to make time to take care of all our responsibilities and the things that we have on our plate. But we're also trying to ensure that we're keeping God a priority. And I think it's so important that we don't forget that. So I hope that these little few tips that I had to offer really help someone. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I will talk to you next time. Take care.